Now, it is time to get to Devin's driving force report, where he breaks down the play of the quarterback. In this case, JJ McCarthy. Devin's driving force report is brought to you by Golden Limousine for more than 31 years. Golden Limo, their driving force has been you. That is the mantra of the man who started it all, Sean Duvall over there. Safe, reliable, friendly transportation anywhere you travel. And now it's time for your drive update with Golden Limousine International at the wheel and Devin on the mic. They actually took me to the game on Saturday, by the way. Came and picked me up. Yeah, Willie. Shout out to Willie.
That's so much better than Uber.
For getting me to the game.
Yeah, you should have seen his drop-off.
Man.
Showing up in a big SUV.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Amazing blue carpet rolled out.
Hey,
Applause
sunglasses
from the fans.
on. You know he got the backpack on, hanging off
Definitely
one shoulder.
had the buffs on.
He has never used both straps of his backpack. Like one of his straps are like brand new, and the other one is like hanging on by a thread. Like at least switch it sometimes, Sam. Dog.
All right, so it's time for your driving force report on JJ McCarthy. Break them down.
JJ McCarthy, the one thing I remember I did the spring game because, I did the spring game. So I did the spring game, and my big thing on the spring game, I wish I could have been able to come here and talk about it as well, but the big thing a lot of people remember is like he's going to be so much better in the footwork department, which is going to make him so much better as a quarterback in general, right? You're not going to miss the throws that he missed, different things like that. Obviously going to be more healthy as well. And what I saw was a man like you. I didn't talk to people about the spring or whatever, but you did, and what you just told me, it all lines up, right? It's not like a happenstance on how he's performing. His footwork was so much better. Playing on time, having a plan, not a whole bunch of ad lib, make a play. Most of the plays were made in the framework of the offense. This wasn't JJ McCarthy being special all the time, right? And so I watched Colin Cowherd, and one thing that he's been taught, his whole new kind of analogy, and I think it's a very good analogy. It's like when you score 40 as a basketball player, 32 when you're a great player, 32 are just mid-range. Do your deal, layup, do what you're supposed to do, free throw. There are about 4 shots. So wow, like Jordan, it's 4. Like, oh my God, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But the rest of it is just regular stuff, right? And so that's what JJ has to be, and I think that's what he's going to be. It's going to be, hey, snick route right here, 5 yards. Here we go. Got the dig at 15. He's open. Throw it to him. Oh, play action. We got a nice shot. And then it's going to be a couple where, oh, my God, I've never seen anybody make that play except for like Kelly Williams, right? Oh, my goodness, that's an outstanding play. Unbelievable, right? But it's not going to be every single play. And I think last year sometimes because he didn't get so many opportunities to drop back and pass and do all different things because we were such a heavy run team, especially. And then you think of like the TCU game, it's like, oh, he's so special, and he's got to make that big splash play because he doesn't get a whole bunch of opportunities to hit the free throws and make the layups and the little mid-range there that nobody remembers, And so I think that he's going to be able to hit those mid-ranges and have those few very outstanding, amazing, special plays, but they're going to be limited, and everybody's going to remember them, but most of his damage has been done just within the framework of the offense. It was fun to watch, and for a lot of people, that's boring. But for me, the way I look at football, it's like, oh, my goodness, that guy's – I just love to see a quarterback on time, know exactly where he wants to go with the ball, get through progressions and things like that. It's just a special thing to watch just because I know it's hard, right? Because I remember in some years that I had, I know exactly where to go with the ball, boom, boom. And then other years because being hurt, not being able to get into the offense, take reps in spring, all those different things. It's like, man, this is hard making plays every single time because I don't truly know the plan. Like I don't have a true plan because I just don't know it enough. I don't know it like the back of my hand. But in year 3, getting a chance to know offense like the back of your hand, I'm just telling you, man, it is a special feeling. And for me, it's really special to watch. And I think that's what we're seeing with JJ.
Yeah. After I go with you, we break down the film. Borges comes in, right?
Unfortunately.
But I could tell he coached you because first thing he texted me after the game, he said, QB footwork and technique made a quantum leap. That's exactly what you just said. That's what you just said,
right?
Right?
Word got too quantum leap. Yeah, but he's right. He's right. I mean, it was, and everybody's, people going to say like a guy like this Rob Smith guy, oh, ECU's not very good and whatever. Okay, whatever. But the thing is our offensive line can block everybody, right? Offensive line, they protect, right? We watched 2 long seasons of, they won the Joe Moore Award. They watched 2 long seasons of the quarterback having time to play, having time to throw. that's not something that's going to be different when you play better teams or whatever the case may be. And so what we saw is what we're going to see. What we saw is what we're going to see. And a lot of those throws, those weren't like, oh, the guy's wide open every time. Those were tight window throws, a lot of them. And it was good, man. And the thing is, ECU, I think they had a good plan. Get guys in the box. Still, we don't know for sure if he's that guy, right? We would much rather deal with JJ McCarthy than Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum at this point. That's going to change. I said it here on the first Monday morning quarterback. 7 weeks time, that's going to change. You're like, you know what? We'll try our time with Corum, and then they're going to explode. You know what I mean? So I think that Michigan football is in a great position, and this is what I said could happen from 2 years ago before I ever saw him play for real. I said it. I said, listen, man, it's going to unlock. It's going to unlock. I'm telling you, when it unlocks, you got LSU 2019 as a possibility, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, and hopefully it comes to fruition. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. And probably not, but I could be wrong.
Another thing to point out, I mean, part of this is the natural maturation of a guy who's as talented as JJ, who works as hard, wants to be good, works so hard. Like he's that dude.
No, we forgot one more, and I think it's the most important. He's a good dude.
He's a super good dude.
I'm telling you, you're a good dude. Good things happen for you. Not to mention you like that. Not to mention you work hard. Like if you get all of it, you put that thing in that pot, you start cooking.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who was it that I talked to said, man, they got to the building at like 10, and JJ was there, and it was like he had like two empty plates. It was come back. It's like, man, did you spend the night here? like you on your like third plate?
Yeah.
That's how long he had been in there by the time other dudes were coming in to watch film on their own time. That's different with him. But we'd be remiss if before we went to a break, if we didn't also talk about the part that is also affecting things. It's not just his natural talent and his drive to be better. It's also having a new QB coach.
Oh, 100%.
Who he is super dialed in with.
Good job.
Right.
So
Kirk Campbell. How about
Saturday,
Kirk Campbell?
Yeah, Kirk Campbell did a very good job. And in the spring game, I told the story, and I don't know Kirk Campbell. I've said like 2 words to him before, or maybe 4, maybe 5. I don't know. I want to count them, but not many words. But the time when I found out that he was going to first be the quarterback coach, this is way before we even fired the other guy. It was in the summertime. I brought a bunch of kids to Michigan to look at this, practice, open practice or whatever. I'm talking to Freddie J, and I think I've told you the story. And I'm talking to him. He's like, yeah, how you doing, Gardner? How you doing? You know how Freddie J talks. And he's like,
that's a horrible.
And I'm just telling you. And so I'm talking to him, and I'm asking him how are things going, like how's it being back or whatever, because he's in high school football and different things like. He's like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure out this offense, right? Because he's been away from this level for a while, and it's like football's changed a little bit, even since he was. It's not like it was only like a decade ago that he was coaching in college football, but it's changed so much. And he's like, but if you need to know anything about this offense, talk to him. He points over and he's pointing at Kirk Campbell, and I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, I trust Freddie J. Freddie J say that's the guy he going through to learn everything about this offense. I trust him. And then another thing happened in the season a year ago. They had where Weiss had to go to something for the Ravens or whatever. Coach Harwell in there, and Campbell got to be the quarterback coach for however many days. And JJ said he had learned so much, and not only him, the other quarterbacks said they learned so much in those couple days, and it's going to be able to help them moving forward, like than they learned all season, right, with the other guys. So it's just like, okay, that's a good sign, right? And then when they fire him, I'm like, oh, it's going to be Kirk Campbell for sure. What? It's going to be Kirk Campbell. I knew it. And then obviously they hire him, but everybody else outside, they don't know those stories, right? And so they're like, this is all right. We already tried this once, man. This is the University of Michigan. You can't just be hiring any old body to be the quarterback coach. This is the president is playing quarterback right here. And so, but
it was funny when I mentioned his name. You see some of the stuff people say. I was like, clearly, these are people who do not have inside sources.
They don't have listen to the show. They don't really know for sure. And that's okay, right? You're not like damning them for it. But the thing is, man, the thing that he is a stickler for is details in the footwork, right? Footwork details, because your footwork is the basis and the start of whatever you do. Obviously, you got mic points and coverage and all that. But if you got bad footwork, you can know all that stuff and it ain't going to work out. Unless you're super talented, but it's not going to work out when you most need it to go win the championship. You know what I mean? And so you got super talented guy with good footwork. You got issues, man. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Caleb Williams.
Joe Burrow.
You got Joe Burrow.
You remember we broke down that play
you got
up in
ultra
GTR?
talented guy with great footwork and fundamentals. That's tough.
What does great footwork result in that play? We saw Joe Burrow make that throw, the first interception against TCU. That was just footwork, right?
It's just footwork. If you got footwork, and not only just good footwork as far as moving within and without the pocket, but knowing what footwork matches what play. Right, that's something that was kind of a struggle maybe a little bit last year in the drop back game. Why this footwork doesn't match that play? Why are you doing this instead of that? It's like sometimes footwork isn't an option, right? Sometimes footwork or this drop, it's not like, okay, I got a hitch. You can take 3 and a hitch sometimes. No, it's 3 and throw it. It's not an option, right? And so when you know that, the non-negotiable times, the thing is why he was so good in the play action game last year is because there is no set thing. It's come out and play action, you hitch, you whatever, you do your thing. But there are some plays in football, and this is where the layups, right? The layups, the mid-range jumpers, those aren't negotiable footwork things. And if you get those down and hit all those layups, make sure you stay on schedule, all that, the sky's the limit for a guy that is talented as JJ.
Yeah, that's why Monday Morning Quarterback is so great.
It's the best show on
because
TV, even if it's not on TV.
Because you highlighted, and we talked about this at length.
We talked about it.
There are people who say, "Oh, he tipped the throw. He stared him down," or
shut up.
We say it was footwork.
Yeah,
because Joe Burrow threw that same pass, same coverage.
It's like they don't understand that the guy that's in that hook to curl or whatever, he has other stuff to do. The guy that's coming out, like, he has other stuff to do, so he can't just be sprinting underneath just because he's looking over there and stuff like that. Now, Michigan State used to play like that when I was playing because they would get so much pressure that wherever you look, the dude's sprinting. And so you don't have time to look off. So you can try to look off if you want, but you're going to get hit while you're throwing or sacked or whatever. But most teams that don't just dominate up front the way they were able to back in the day, that you have other stuff to do, especially those underneath defenders. It's the footwork is going to be much better because of the new coach. And I think he deserves flowers and kudos because this JJ may be able to get on this Heisman Trophy run and different things like that. And a lot of credit not only goes to JJ, of course, but you just need somebody to make, like, how do you think, why do you think people can't lose weight on their own? You need somebody to push you and take you to the next level and make sure you're right. And then you fire that dude and then you get big again. It's like, well, I know what to do. Well, you don't got the guy to make sure that you're doing it, right? You don't got the guy to breathe down your neck and let you know, hey, that wasn't good enough. Hey, we got to be better here. And so I think JJ now has that guy, a guy that he likes, right? And I'm not going to say he handpicked him, but he kind of did. I mean, he liked him, and he's really good at his job. It's like, it seemed like a perfect, he got on that table for him, right? And it seemed like a perfect marriage. And so, I mean, just a happier JJ you're going to see, right? A guy who enjoys going to work every day. That's why that story of, hey, he's in early, whatever. Well, when you enjoy going to work, I mean, yeah, we hang out here. I mean, it's a nice building, got good facilities, all that. Why would I go home? I'm fine here. Right. It's all good.
And you want to be great. You want to be great.
Yeah.